I'll kiss your boots if you can do it. But to be the man, you gotta beat the man. And I'm saying, woo, right here. I'm the man. You're gonna be mine. Woo!
You were tuned into the best, and that's G5 Jeff TV. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Please share this video, support your boy. Support good content at all times. All social media is in the description box, and please hit that bell icon so you can be notified when I drop that heat. Now, this is the official breakdown and prediction video for Terrance Bud Crawford versus the scrappy Jeff Horn. It's going down on the ESPN Plus app. Please do not cut on your cable box and go to the regular ESPN looking for this fight, because you are not going to find it. It is on the ESPN Plus app, and depending on where you're at, if you're in the States, I think it costs $5 to get started. As far as the app is concerned, I think Terrance Crawford and Jeff Horn is worth $5. I know PBC is doing a lot of free events and things like that, triple headers and all that. They're killing the game. But I think $5 for Terrance Crawford and Jeff Horn is it's not bad. It's not bad. I mean, $5 is, that's a cheesesteak from the Poppy spot, from the Poppy store. That's a two-piece special from Popeyes, two-piece chicken special. Grab a couple things from out the supermarket with that. It's it's light change. Light change. I think they're worth it, man. Just to support the sport and to see a good fight. It's going to be a good fight. You know what I'm saying? Definitely spend that money, support this fight. Now, getting to this fight is interesting, because I usually drop my breakdown and prediction videos a couple days earlier, but this is actually the day before the fight. And I'm going to, again, approach this breakdown and prediction video a little different than I usually do. And some fights calls for different breakdowns. This fight is so interesting to me because there's a lot of underlying issues and a lot of underlying questions that needs to be answered. Now, you look at Terrance Crawford versus Jeff Horn off of just pure talent and accomplishments. There's no comparison. Like, Terrance Crawford is levels above Jeff Horn. Terrance Crawford, whether you like him or dislike him, if you dislike him, Terrance Crawford should be in your top 10. If you like Terrance Crawford, then he's probably in your top 5, pound for pound. If you are a Terrance Crawford fan, then you probably believe he's in the top 3 or he's number 1 pound for pound. Nobody's talking about Jeff Horn being in anybody's pound for pound list, and a lot of people felt like Jeff Horn lost the fight to Manny Pacquiao. And yes, they had 3 independent judges judge the fight after the fight was over in a dispute by Manny Pacquiao's people, and they still came up with a Jeff Horn victory. Now, I'm not going to get into whether I thought Jeff Horn won the fight versus Manny Pacquiao, but it was very controversial. And nobody has Jeff Horn as a pound-for-pound fighter. He's respected for the effort that he put in versus Manny Pacquiao, but nobody is saying that Jeff Horn is high level in terms of the talent. I said all that to say this. It's so weird because, like I said, Terrance Crawford, talent-wise, is levels above Jeff Horn. But all of the questions that I have in regards to this fight has to do with Terrance Crawford. Almost all of them. All of them. And I'm going to explain why. And I'm a Terrance Crawford fan. It was a couple months ago I did a top 5 pound for pound list. Like, Terrance Crawford was number 1 on my pound for pound list a couple months ago. I'm you know what, now I think about it, I'm due for another pound for pound video. I think I'll probably do that next week. But all of the questions that I have in regards to this fight has to do with the guy that's mentioned pound for pound, not the guy that's not mentioned pound for pound. Terrance Crawford is going to be fighting his first fight at 147. His first fight at 147. And anybody that knows me knows that I'm a firm believer in getting acclimated to the weight. Going from 140 to 147 is a big jump. We've seen this with guys in the past going from 140 to 147. You could take an Adrian Broner. He went from 135 to 147 in one leap. And he had difficulty in his first fight at 147. Now, this is a tall task for Terrance Crawford going up against a guy like Jeff Horn in his first fight at 147. That's number one. Number two, how is the power going to look at 147? How's the power going to look? Is the power going to be there like it was at 135? Is it going to be there like it was at 140? Is his power going to carry up? Now the speed is going to be there. The quickness is going to be there. With Terrance Crawford, I'm not really worried about that, because even if he loses some speed or some quickness, he's still going to be faster than quicker than Jeff Horn. And that's just the facts of it. Another thing, Terrance Crawford always comes into a fight relatively the bigger man, weighing more than his opponent. Jeff Horn is a legitimate welterweight. Like, he's been fighting at 147 like his whole career. And regardless of how you feel about the Manny Pacquiao fight with Jeff Horn, he is a champion. He is a champion. Okay? Another question with Terrance Crawford. Can he take a shot from a legitimate welterweight? Because you can argue that he's faced guys at 135 and he was just bigger than everybody else. At 140, he faced a couple guys, but he just flat out outboxed them. If Terrance Crawford gets touched on the chin, can he handle a shot from a legitimate welterweight? That's another question that we have. Another question in regards to Terrance Crawford is, Terrance Crawford is known for getting off the slow starts. He's known to start slow, early. He can't afford to do that in this fight, because Jeff Horn is going to be putting the pressure on from the opening bell. So how long is it going to take for Terrance Crawford to get adapted in this fight? Because he's fighting somebody bigger, new weight class, welterweight title on the line, pressure is on. So we got to see if Terrance Crawford is going to start off quicker than what he usually does. And another thing with Terrance Crawford, and I know it seemed like I'm just going at Terrance Crawford, but I'm really not. Like, these are legitimate questions. With Terrance Crawford, he's a orthodox fighter technically, but in reality he's a southpaw. Like, he's more comfortable switching to southpaw. So usually how a Terrance Crawford fight goes is Terrance Crawford will start out conventional. If he likes the way things is going, he'll stay conventional. 9 times out of 10, he's going to think he is going to have better looks from the southpaw stance. So he's going to switch to southpaw. If you ever notice, when he switches to southpaw and he faces a good fighter, he always get caught with shots for like a round. When he switches to southpaw. It's almost like his brain has to get adjusted to being southpaw, because he just gets caught with shots. He gets caught with straight shots, looping shots, and all of that. But after he gets acclimated to going southpaw, then he's fine. But all it takes is a couple seconds for you to get in trouble in a fight. So that's another thing to look out for when he switches to southpaw. Can he get acclimated to being southpaw and not get hurt in the process? That's big. That's huge for Terrance Crawford. Now, I just brought up a whole lot of questions with Terrance Crawford. Whole lot of questions with Terrance Crawford. Now, Jeff Horn, we know that he's going to bring it. He's going to come rough and rugged. He's going to make this fight ugly. His best bet is to make the fight ugly. Jeff Horn has to fight like Chino Maidana did against Floyd Mayweather. The way Chino Maidana fought against Adrian Broner. And I'm talking about Chino Maidana and Floyd Mayweather, the first fight. Chino went in there, put the pressure on, smothered Floyd, and said, I don't give a fuck, I'm going to get mines off. Jeff Horn has to have that same approach because he can outbox Terrance Crawford. He can outspeed Terrance Crawford. He doesn't have the better IQ. Jeff Horn has a lot stacked up against him in this fight. But in boxing, you do the opposite. If you're facing a boxer, you brawl the boxer. You box the brawler. Terrance Crawford, he can brawl. Don't get me wrong. He can brawl. He can get into a firefight and win that. But you'll have more of a chance of beating Terrance Crawford if you get him into a firefight versus a pure boxing match. If it's a pure boxing match, you're losing. You're losing. So Jeff Horn's approach in this fight is going to be very, very important because he's going to have to fight really, really rugged, like damn near dirty to give himself a chance in this fight. And another important aspect of this fight is who is the referee. Now, that's something I haven't been able to find, but if there's a referee that kind of lets a lot of stuff go, you know, a lot of holding and, you know, head butting and things like that, little dirty tactics, I can see somebody getting cut in this fight from a headbutt. I can definitely see it happening because Jeff Horn comes in with his head. You know, he comes in with his head and he's not the cleanest of fighters. You know what I'm saying? Jeff Horn has a shot in this fight. He has a shot in this fight, and it's if he makes the fight a rough and tough fight. But let me tell you what the problem is with Jeff Horn in this fight. If you watch Jeff Horn's last fight against Gary Corcoran, even in the Manny Pacquiao fight, midway through the fight, Jeff Horn looks like he gets like tired, like he needs to get a second wind. It happened in the Manny Pacquiao fight, and it happened in the Gary Corcoran fight. Now, it was around about 7, 8, and 9 in the Pacquiao fight where he just looked gassed. And round 9 was the round that Manny Pacquiao almost got Jeff Horn up out of there because he was gassed. And Manny Pacquiao should have got Jeff Horn up out of there in the 9th round, and credit to Jeff Horn for surviving that. But even in the Gary Corcoran fight got interesting because in the middle of the fight, Jeff Horn was starting to get gassed, and Corcoran took advantage of it. So for me, it's bigger than the talent discrepancy. It's bigger than any questions that I've had about Terrance Crawford. It's this one thing with Jeff Horn is going to be the difference in this fight. Jeff Horn goes through a 2-3 round stretch in the middle of the fight where he's gassed, where he's tired. So if Jeff Horn, like history says, goes through a 2-3 round stretch in the middle of the fight where he's completely gassed, that's going to be the difference in the fight. So my prediction is Terrance Crawford is going to stop Jeff Horn in the 8th round of this fight. Terrance Crawford will get a TKO in the 8th round of this fight. And prior to the stoppage, it will be a competitive fight. It will not be a blowout. It will be a competitive fight. But I think Jeff Horn is going to get gassed in the middle of the fight, that 2-3 round stretch like he always does. Go look at Jeff Horn's history. Go look at it. Middle of the fight, he gets gassed. If you get gassed with a guy that's elite like Terrance Crawford, it doesn't matter. All of the questions that I had about Terrance Crawford, none of it matters. When you're going up against a guy that's a killer like Terrance Crawford and you're tired, that's the worst thing that can possibly happen, because then at that point, they're going to pick you apart. Manny Pacquiao did the same thing. He just couldn't finish Jeff Horn off. But I think that same scenario is going to pop up, and I think Terrance Crawford is going to actually stop Jeff Horn. Now, y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section. G5 Jeff TV. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button. Please share this video. Support your boy. Support good content at all times. I appreciate y'all. Peace.